Welcome. Our top international focus. The counting is underway for 650 seats in the United Kingdom. Latest numbers indicate that Ed Miliband's Labour Party has won close to 40 seats. David Cameron's Conservative Party has won close to 30 as of now. Remember, the exit poll numbers, which we are going to put up on the screen in just a short moment from now, had predicted otherwise. The exit poll actually suggested that the ruling Conservative will in fact get close to 316. However, that will be 10 short of the magic number of 326. Now, the initial leads that we are getting, as well as the initial numbers that we are getting, is that the opposition Labour is ahead, as well as leading on 46. David Cameron's Conservative on 30. They have won those many seats at this moment. Now, the Scottish National Party, which is expected to stun this election, has won 26 seats till now. Remember, this is the first election that has taken place after that historic referendum that took place in 2014, in mid-2014, whether Scotland should be a separate country or not. So the Scottish National Party is actually the surprise party in this particular election. The key fight is that one can see is between the Conservative leader, David Cameron, as well as Labour Party's Ed Miliband. Now, votes are being counted in the UK general election. In a few hours from now, poll results will be out as to how many seats each party has won in the House of Commons. While an exit poll predicting PM David Cameron's Conservatives will be the largest party in the House of Commons, the poll predicts Cameron's party will win 316, short of an outright majority, but close, very close to the magic number. Now, Prime Minister Cameron's Conservatives and Miliband's opposition Labour are locked in the most closely fought polls in the world's fifth largest democracy has seen recently. If either the Conservatives or the Labour have more than half the 650 seats, they can quickly form a government, but that does not seem likely. Let's now cut across live to Lavina Tandon. Lavina, it's, I believe, 3:30 a.m. in England. But, you know, the night is young as far as counting is concerned, as far as searching or hunting for a new government in the United Kingdom is concerned. Take us through the latest leads as well as the tally, the winning tally at this moment.
Absolutely, it's very interesting because exit polls are going
saying something else. Well, the tally is saying something else, which I shall give you right now. 98 seats declared out of 650, 24 gone to Conservatives, 37 to Labour. SNP taken 22, Liberal Democrats, known as Lib Dem, 1, UKIP 0, and others 14. So Labour leading in the tallies, while in the exit polls, Conservatives leading. One would love to know what happens by the end of the counting. In about 2 or 3 hours, more and more results will start coming in, and at about 6 or 7 a.m., as I have said, we will have a better idea, rather a much better idea of who might be the largest party.
Now, these are visuals that we are running on the left-hand side of David Cameron actually carrying out his campaigning. In fact, these are voting shots when they actually went to cast their vote yesterday. Of course, you know, they must be expecting a lot. A lot is at stake as far as Mr. David Cameron is concerned. Particularly this time around, as you were telling us, they're not really banking quite heavily on their alliance partner. You know, the Lib Dems this time around. They've not been doing really well, and it's quite evident in these results also. What really then has been the strategy for, you know, the two main contenders, the Labour as well as the Conservatives? Because you gave us this report a couple of days back of how both these parties are trying to woo the ethnic minority, particularly the Asian Indian community, because they feel a huge pocket of support in them, both these players.
Yes, absolutely. Let me answer your first part of the question, which is who are they going to marry this time? If nobody has laid their cards on Ed Miliband or David Cameron, and fair enough, because they still have to know where they stand in the actual tally. But if we go by the conjectures, it looks like that DUP, Democratic Unionist Party, would be one prospective partner for David Cameron's party, and as you said, Lib Dem. That it was actually a death hug for the Lib Dem last time in the coalition with the Conservatives, because it is Conservatives, David Miliband's David Cameron's party, that has eaten into most of the Lib Dem seats. So Lib Dem is not coming up as something which could be a credible partner, but we still don't know, even if they come with 10 seats, if that is the number that they are looking for. But the question is whether Lib Dem would want to do that again, another death hug with the Conservatives. On the other hand, if Ed Miliband's party comes, then everybody says that it is going to be SNP as their partner, but Ed Miliband has already said before that there can be no coalition or partnership with the SNP, because SNP happens to be one of the parties that asked for the referendum for Scotland to be an independent country. So this is very significant from that point of view as well, that there is one party which is leftist, which is emerging in Scotland, and it might be taking all this 58, 59 seats in Scotland. And if this is the case, then is Scotland, is the United Kingdom looking at another referendum? Will United Kingdom actually remain united? And whoever is the Prime Minister might be the last Prime Minister to actually be the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, and under him the country might break. So it's very, very significant from that point of view. Now the second part, migrant voters. I am standing in a constituency which is very significant from the migrant voting point of view. The candidates here are of Indian origin, and this is one of the seats, two seats that I'm standing. The counting is happening here up at Isleworth and Feltham and Heston, where migrant vote would be deciding the seats. So yes, 20 seats in London itself being decided by these migrant voters, and amongst whom Indian people from Indian origin happen to be the largest.
That's right. That's a crucial point that you are making. And I mean, according to your report, there are as many as 615,000 migrant voters that all these political parties are actually eyeing for. You know, the point, Lavina, that we were actually discussing, and you actually mentioned, while India, which has, been known internationally as perhaps one of the largest democracy in the world, to have contributed to the concept of, the coalition dharma, the coalition politics.
Yes.
While India has moved on to a single party rule, England, which is among the oldest democracies in the world, has in fact decided that they will go or adopt, coalition dharma. We saw it last time around. There is a possibility that the same could happen this time around as well.
Absolutely, it could go a step further, in fact. Last time we had clear coalition. This time it could be a minority government, hung government, or another election in a few weeks. Something like this had happened in 1974 in UK as well, when Labour had gone with the Scottish Nationalist Party by vote-to-vote basis, and the whole system had failed, and they had another election in 1975 October. So we do not know how it's going to pan out. But yes, while India has gone to a single party, which just goes on to show that the voters here, the parties here have been cross-dressing. They have been stepping on each other's boundaries as far as their pledges are concerned. And there is no clear party or a clear stand that people can vote for. I have spoken to a large number of people, cross-section of people, and they have told me, we wish we could have made a Pandora box from one policy from this party and the other policy from that party. So there is a lot of mishmash of pledges and of values of each other's party, which is why I think...
But Lavina, that's how it always is.
Yes.
That's how it always is. Whichever democracy of the world, that's how it always is. There are some positives and there are some negatives. Very briefly, I would like you to talk about how the exit polls, at least in the initial leads that we can see, and also the results that we can see, that tally on the bottom of your screen right now. If you see, of the total 650, the Conservatives are at 35, Labour at 53, Lib Dem at actually 2. So they are of no use, quite literally for... alliance partner, being an alliance partner. Lavina, any update to that figure? Because it almost appears that as far as the exit poll results are concerned, something that we see back home here in India, where politicians love to say that the exit polls went wrong, that seems to be happening in UK as well.
As of now, we do definitely see that happening. But please do not forget that the major seats have not yet come. There's loads that is going to come in bunch in about next 2 or 3 hours. So we must hold our breath on that verdict over exit polls. But yes, as of now, the tallies show, and your tally is right to mine as well, 34 to the Conservatives, Labour 55, SNP 31, Lib Dem 2, UKIP 0, that is quite significant, and others 17. So yes, Labour is still leading with 55, and results of 139 seats have been declared as we speak. So exit polls at the moment shying away to the tally, but please wait for 3 more hours.
Okay, very briefly before we let you go so that you can get some more information, when can we expect a final result? By what time?
Right, by about 7 a.m. today, we should know which party is going to be the largest or how exit polls have finally done. Final results, I'm hoping we should get by early afternoon or by afternoon of 8.
Okay. So 7 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time is actually going to mean around 11:15 or close to 11:30 India time, which is exactly the time when India is going to be busy trying to understand whether Salman Khan is going to be getting bail or jail. But then, of course, there'll be considerable amount of interest in what you are actually also getting us. Lavina, many thanks for joining us with all the latest. But let's get you the Indian connection of the UK polls. As UK gets ready for a new government, we get you 10 Downing Street's Indian connection. Prime Minister Cameron knows how to appease his Indian origin voters, a predominantly Gujarati crowd in the biggest Swaminarayan Mandir of London during his recent campaign visit. In fact, all the main parties are trying hard to woo the black and Asian ethnic minority votes, and amongst them, Indian origin voters. After all, they form 615,000 votes out of the 4 million first-time voters born outside Britain. Prime Minister Cameron did not leave any stone unturned to say all the right things, from talking about the importance of the Indian diaspora in the UK to pitching for Prime Minister Modi's visit to the UK.
And I want to welcome Prime Minister Modi to Britain at the earliest opportunity.
Though the ethnic diaspora does not vote in bloc, yet Labour has been their traditional favourite, and some say this is changing. The Indian diaspora vote slowly but gradually is moving towards the Tories. Labour is doing their best to retain their loyals by their ethnic diaspora specific manifesto. Leader of opposition Labour Party's Ed Miliband is making huge efforts to seek support from the Indian community. He too visited another Swaminarayan Mandir in London, and a usual quiet and low-key campaigning in the UK turned into a colourful and musical event. While Cameron and Miliband have been visiting temples, Lib Dems Nick Clegg found the way to votes through their tummies. He went all the way to Cardiff to cook Indian curry in a Bangladeshi restaurant.
I'm going on a sort of culinary tour of the... And is this a sort of...
There seems to be no doubt that this election's political parties in the United Kingdom are making their best bet to convert the undecided ethnic minority vote to their favour.
From showing faith in the Hindu philosophy of karma to saying that he's looking forward to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Britain, and also personalizing Ab Ki Baar Modi Sarkar to Phir Ek Baar Cameron Sarkar, Prime Minister Cameron hit right notes with the people of Neesan Temple of Indian origin, specifically the Gujarati people. Indian population, the Indian origin diaspora is gaining its influence in the UK and is becoming more and more significant with every passing election.
With Bureau Reports, Headlines Today.